That's Mad Master here doing another video. This time regarding the cautionary good news from Iowa and Arkansas. And in those states, they're repealing a lot of the virus guidelines. So they've done so in Wisconsin as well. So some extent, I mean, the bank's open now. The banks are open. The lobbies are open now. You can go to a bank. I want to put some caution towards that because you never know what's going to happen with this. Month down the road, we could be locked down again for all that we know. Not under the COVID-21, what they're fucking stupid bullshit like QAnon-esque conspiracy that came out months back. I mean, it's like they have one more day in Canada. It was just an alleged Canadian whistleblower, as I said in my previous video, that was posted on forums, and then Computing Forever ran with it, and then they started talking about these like concentration camps and like like you couldn't like military lockdown in Canada. It's like, what would they? This is ridiculous. What are they going to shoot you with, maple syrup? It's so ridiculous. So, I mean, we got, I can't do a Canadian accent worth of shit, so, but, this is all about COVID. You're going to stay in your houses with the maple syrup gun, This is so stupid. So, I mean, I've been kind of questioning more of the conspiracy stuff lately anyways, because, it's like I said in my previous video, it's like the other side of the coin. They're making money. The other side's making money. You got to go in between. You got to read between the lines. And I think like Corbett report is reasonable for that in some ways not. But I'm probably going to take a break from a lot of the conspiracy stuff though, as far as my watching of it, because including Carl Vernon, who has some really hilarious videos, but I just don't want to think about this stuff for a while. I just want to try to focus on other things. But Iowa and Arkansas have repealed or rescinded some of their guidelines, including masks, which, I never thought of Iowa as some kind of red state. Not that, that's not my, it's sad that it's become so politicized where, a person that's anti-mask is assumed to be a Republican, or, questions the narrative is assumed to be right-wing. And nobody helped with that, We got a scant amount of left-wingers, quote-unquote, in the skeptical narrative towards the virus stuff. And I was actually listening last night to this guy, Connor Habib, who is I guess he's a male porn star / occultist / like podcaster. Very interesting show. I highly recommend listening to him. He's been on Gordon White's program quite a bit. It's really good stuff. Gordon White's Ruined Soup. So I might do a video about some of these guys because I think there's like a new occult movement happening right now in certain ways. I think Tarl Warwick is actually a part of that too. I would consider him, even though he's a little different than those other guys. But anyways, I'm off track on that. Or getting off track. I don't know what's going to happen with cases and deaths and stuff. It's just, if they're are we going to use arbitrary criteria to close again, to lock down again? That's the real question. If cases go up like 10% in a month, will they lock everything down again or do a mask mandate? But yeah, Iowa does not have I guess they rescinded some of their, I don't know if it's I don't know if it's like 100% or what, but they rescinded a lot of their mandates and their mask mandates, as far as I know. But that's $1 million question, though. How long is that going to go on? But one thing that does give me hope is that as this goes, I mean, if you believe there's an actual virus, I'm just saying, there's a little disclaimer here. If you believe there's an actual virus, if you believe that seroprevalence is a thing, or if you think the vaccine will work in conjunction with that, it seems like if cases do go down in a region, I still wonder what happened to the flu, and I don't get it. I still don't get it. I watched a little bit of Zabin Dumania's video about that. I still don't really buy that it's like these two viruses vying for bodies, so they go, I don't know, it's just like these weird theories that are kind of on the fringe in some ways. Like, why was there no flu, you know? So that's $1 million question. If people can explain that, that's an unanswered question. Kind of like 9/11's unanswered questions book that I own. It was really good. So I think that what I was trying to say is a correlation between opening up and cases going down or deaths going down is a real thing. I've seen it happen multiple places in multiple states. Now, some countries are going in a very weird direction, and I'll just say that, you know, like Israel and Great Britain in many ways are going in a really strange dystopian direction. Of course, Great Britain is the home of dystopia. I mean, George Orwell hailed from there, and you know, you can't watch like a BBC like science fiction series or, you know, thriller series or whatever without seeing like them utilize a whole like universal camera system in England. Like, it's totally Orwellian already, you know. So expecting Great Britain to have some type of like, you know, concern for freedom and liberty is like expecting. I mean, it's not like it's, you know, it's pretty bad, I'll just say. Now, America's showing some promise though, as far as like rescinding these guidelines. Some places in America, like Iowa, that's weird. And I've heard Texas might be opening up a little bit too. Those are good things, you know. And we can't. But hopefully they won't draw back once things are open again. Or, you know, I don't really trust these people, of course. So just a little warning there, you know. But I think the pessimism has to stop. I mean, I'm going to bring in up a couple of things that are very controversial from different ends, because that's just the way my mind thinks. No matter what people think, I don't care. I have my own opinion. People may not like it. So let's start with the angle that Fauci said, that he actually said something positive about maybe the summer will be the end, or he's hopeful things will be back to mostly normal in the summer or something like that. That's one positive thing. He hasn't really said anything like that in a long time. Of course, he's said a million different things that contradict each other a million times, but, you know, that was a good thing that he said. I'll give him credit for that a little bit, even if it's for some other ulterior motive. The second thing that's really interesting is I was listening to a podcast. Someone was interviewed. I'll just say it's a Canadian conspiracy theorist podcast. You could probably guess who that is. Just from what I've talked about. Where the person on the podcast who was interviewed said that these vaccine companies, some of them have something in their contract that said the virus will be ending by June or July of 2021. And then the public funding, or it'll become like privatized again, except for instead of the being involved in like, I don't know. It's like I don't know. It's some kind of thing in the contract, like that, like where it's like more. It becomes more of a private thing again. So I find that really interesting, and I'm just hopeful that it goes better. You know, I mean, cases went up in the United States again a little bit. There's a slight bump. You know, it's plateaued a little bit, 70,000 a day, but it's still disconcerting. You know, but I'm going to continue to try to live my life and, you know, try to push back against really big, you know, bullshit things, you know, if I see something that's unfair. And I'm try to take a break from the conspiracy talk or thoughts, probably for a month. I may not even post any more videos. No, I'm not going to hold my breath, you know. I mean, I, of course, always contradict myself when I say these things. I may even, well, for a couple weeks at least, not do any more videos about, you know, politics or the virus or anything. I got in a big fight with one of my friends about politics recently, and the thing that bothers me with people is that they just follow the mainstream media, or they don't read at all. You know, I mean, people do not read even. You know, it's like, I follow all these people, I watch all these different things, I try to have these different, different types of media, whether it be the Glenn Greenwalds or Matt Taibbi's or Noam Chomsky's or, whoever of the world, or, James Corbett or whoever. So, but some people are just like, I watched it on the news. I watched it on the news. They said on the news. I read it in the newspaper. The media is only owned by like 6 or 7 corporations, dumb fucks, Do I get on a high horse about that shit? Yeah. Yeah. Especially when people are fucking lazy, and they don't want to venture out of their bubble, Yeah, I get on a high horse. What's wrong with being on it? What's wrong with being on a high horse about things sometimes, I don't think I've been on a high horse enough. But sometimes I'm made to feel like shit, like by these responses to some of my old videos, like Danzig's Done or Manowar, the Fall of Manowar, or these controversial videos like that. It's like, okay, well, I can feel like shit and feel like I don't know anything. I'm being an asshole, or I could say, well, I bring up valid points. I shake up the fucking the apple cart a little bit. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with questioning things? What's wrong with questioning people? I mean, I've gotten a lot of shit for questioning people, and I probably could do it in a more tactful way sometimes, and I probably could do a little bit less, especially in relationships. I mean, when you're trying to suppress questioning someone and then you passive aggressively do things, and that's a bad sign. When you're, yeah. Anyways, I'm not going to go into that in this video, but you can look forward to a lot more music related content on this channel for the next probably a few weeks. I might be doing an interview with a musician. That's actual audio interview for a change. Hopefully, if I get things together with that, there will be some more music related videos. Like I'm going to discuss some of my favorite punk albums, quote unquote punk albums. That one's going to be controversial because it's going to be a little kind of mainstream, I guess you would say. I'm not talking about like Green Day or anything like that, but some of the stuff is probably a little bit. It's going to seem like I like kind of more mainstream punk. I don't, I really give a fuck. I like, Satiricon's mainstream compared to Deathspell Omega, but Deathspell Omega's mainstream compared to like your average like one-man cult black metal band from Arkansas or something. It's not like you're gonna. It's like, where do you draw the line? I'm like I guess you'd call me like middle or mainstream underground to some extent. I'm not like a walk-in nerd or something like that, or walk-in chode or whatever. It's not like I like Within Temptations playing Walk-In, or something like that. Fucking person, like, this stereotype. They buy everything from Century Media Records or whatever the fuck. It's like, I'm not like that, but I'm definitely not your cult. Like, I only buy tapes from like artists that sell 4 copies or have Bandcamp, that have like 4 followers, and I also only listen to those bands. I'm not like that either. So I'm somewhere in between like those two things, but I'm definitely not like a mainstream person either. But where do you draw the line nowadays? I mean, the singer of Behemoth was saying all this fucking mainstream Democrat kind of shit. He's from Poland. It's like, that's what I mean. Like, people are bootlickers nowadays, regardless of their which side they're on, which wing they're on. But it's annoying. Yeah. So I mean, I really think day by day I'm becoming more of an anarchist, honestly. But anyways, I'm going to conclude this video to say I just blabbed for 15 minutes about various things, including the virus, but that's about all.